Good evening and welcome to the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League, brought to you in partnership by GT Omega, Driver61, Nailcoat Hall, and GridFinder.com. I am Tim, back with my co-commentator, as always, Malk. How are you doing today?
You alright, Tim? How you doing? I'm doing very well, mate. How you doing?
Ready to watch some fantastic racing around the Hungaroring. I'd say yes, definitely a very short track, but a very fun track to drive around, and it has definitely been no stranger to fantastic and nail-biting finishes in the Invictus Racing League.
Absolutely, but don't get me wrong, Tim. Hungary is the only track where it's the only DRS straight is where the start finish line straight is. And you might see a few overtakes galore at certain tracks where you never expect the scenery before. So hopefully we'll see a few more overtakes that you've never experienced in the matter of times. But yeah, I do agree. The last few times that we have been racing at Hungary, and also throughout the season, there's been absolute unbelievable scenes, and I cannot wait for it tonight, Tim.
So just waiting to see who the first driver will be to blink to go out for their qualifying session. In the meantime, let's go ahead and update you on the point standings. It is still Party Trev driving for Flash McQueen Racing that is on top of the board with 124 points, 122 points belonging to Russman88, and then ARL in third with 118 points, with 107 belonging to O. Steven, and Turok in fifth with 104. The top five drivers all have over 100 points and are all within 20 points of each other, and it is still, for the most part, anyone's championship. We are past the halfway point in the season, so not a lot of races left. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more races left to go to claim your title, to get as many points as possible. Party Trev, he's been on top of the board for quite a few weeks now, but who will be able to knock him off the top spot, or will anybody be able to knock him off the top spot, because it's only 2 points separating him and the second place driver of Russman?
Yeah, absolutely. And don't get me wrong, Party Trev has been absolutely outstanding. And can anyone try and stop him? That's the big question. Can anyone try and stop him? But as I said before, and I say this every single week, consistency. Consistency has always been the key at the F1 racing. If you don't get that consistency, you will lose out massively on the points as well. Just watching Michael in the Mercedes driver, just about to start his lap. I think Stinson is about to do his proper lap now, coming to the last corner now. And yeah, Tim, it's going to be an absolute belter, so let's see what they're going to try to do in the qualifying.
So we're right on board with Stinson here, and you're going to have a heavy braking moment here. Sometimes you can use the curb on the inside into turn number 1 to help the car rotate. Stinson did not in this time. He is in a DRS zone, but it's a very tiny DRS zone, and then you're going to have an early braking moment into this downhill section. Stinson going a little bit wide there on his banker lap, going wide there, and he invalidates. You got to be very careful there. You're going to see a lot of that today, and this is another corner that you're going to pick up some time penalties, and you have to be very careful how you take that corner as well. You hit that curb a little too much, you're going to be off spinning into the runoff area. And now here's a very tight chicane. You cannot go side by side, and you see that they have sausage curbs on the end of them as well. So now Stinson in the second sector. This is a sector where you can really pick up a lot of speed. It's a nice flat section. You can see the apexes of the corners very easily. The best thing you can do here is just stay smooth, and then entering the third sector here in just a few seconds, or actually has just entered the third sector, and you have another hairpin, and it's a very tight hairpin, but a very wide hairpin as Stinson goes wide to let another driver by. That might actually be Michael Lutke that he went ahead and let by. No, it's actually an Aston Martin who is diving down into the pit, so something wrong with Stinson as he's going very, very slow out on track, but he invalidated his lap anyway, so this will not be the lap he is looking for.
Absolutely. I saw Michael doing his lap, but he validated during that turn 4, which is, turn 5, I think it was, for the blind left-hand corner as well. So you have to be careful with that as well. And Ginger Tiger's done the fastest lap of the race with 1:17.609. Just watching Emery Pancakes now, 1:18.011. So that's a good time there. Hello to Stinson, who's also racing as well. Good evening to you, mate. A career fan, aka ARL. It's a shame to not be there tonight, but had a qualifying ban, so I wasn't much I would be able to do it, but I'll be back for the next round. Definitely still fighting for the World Drivers' Championship. Tim.
Taking a look at the AlphaTauri of Keza, of course, his car-allocated teammate was the first driver to set. Oh, and Reshka goes a 1:17.220 in the Alpine, so good time by Reshka there early on in the qualifying. Let's see what Keza is able to do in that number 13 AlphaTauri. We will ride on board with him for the remainder of the lap, just a couple more corners to go. And we can kind of watch his wheel inputs. I think that Keza might be on a controller. If you watch the wheel inputs, it's a little bit more choppy than someone that's on a wheel. Of course, I could be wrong there, but nonetheless, it doesn't matter because Keza goes fastest, a 1:17.018. Who said you can't be fast on a pad?
I never said one word, Tim. I have never said one word. You did now. You did now. But what a good time from Keza, 1:17.018. That's a good time, actually. Saab doing his qualifying lap. He's just getting one driver just getting out of the way. So let's just watch Saab now in the first sector. This is the part where Matt is just trying to get out of the way as quickly as possible. And then this is the first sector is absolutely key. Then straight after that, you have to try not to get caught by the curb on the left. If you hit that, you're going to hit the wall. If you go too much to the right, you're going to lose out massively. And Kez is just trying to slow down. Come to the I think the chicane part's a bit tricky as well if you don't master it really well. And oh no, Sam! No! He's out! He's out of the qualifying. Tim.
Well, Malk, it wasn't the chicane part that caught him out, but it was the part just after that on the racetrack, and just an unfortunate set of circumstances that when he hit the wall that way that the tire came off, thus ending his qualifying session. So very unfortunate for Saab there. We'll go ahead and take a look at Matty in the Williams as he's about to start his flying lap. He's in the third sector now, just 2 more corners to go. And it's very easy to do that around here, what Saab just did, isn't it, Malk?
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's pretty much most part of the track. If you don't control the car easily, I've seen a few parts of the track where, in the past, the corners that you would expect to make a mistake, it's the ones where you don't realise in this season, in this 2021 game as well. And Tarak is just about to do his proper lap now, and he's not purple in the first sector, but yeah, with Saab, I really want him to do well this season. He's had a bit of an unlucky season, shall we say. But I'm hoping he'll try and bounce back in the second half of the season as well, Tim.
So taking a look at Tarak in the Aston Martin, he is in the second sector, just now entering the third sector. So we will see what time he can set down. Remember, and he invalidates his lap, so this will not be his fast lap. But remember, Tarak is 5th in the standings with 104 points, just 20 points out of the lead over Party Trev. So theoretically, he could be leading the championship standings here in the near future if he is able to get a couple of good races over Party Trev. Absolutely. To be fair, but hopefully he'll try and push on massively as well. So here we go. Michael has just got the just moved up to second actually with a 1:17.048. So that's a good time for him. Just to Spud now. So Spud is going to come up to the third sector now. And let's see what time he's in the Ferrari at the minute. Tarak, Speed Queen, Spud and Pydrev, the only ones who've had no time at all during the qualifying itself. And one of the drivers is just trying to get out of the way. I think that was a Mercedes. That might be Michael as well. So Spud now comes up to the last bit down. Moves up to 10th with a 1:18.941. Tim. Sir Spud, he's gotten 2 podiums in a row the past 2 races. Hungary, though, looking a little bit difficult for him. A 1:18.9, only 10th place. As you said, Malcolm, not exactly promising, but we still have plenty of qualifying left to go, as we can go ahead and take a look at Tarak once again and see if he can have a better bit of luck this time setting a fast lap. And so far so good with just 1 more corner to go. Don't go wide out of the final corner and you will at least have your banker lap down, my friend. He goes a little bit wide but hangs on to it, crosses the line, and Tarak goes to 7th, a 1:17.922.
That's a good time, to be fair, from Tarak. I'm just watching... Who am I watching? Matty's just going back into the pits now. Tarak's just done his lap. Rymak always about that his lap. Bobby Reshka So Reshka's in the second sector now. Not sure what time he would have got on the time itself, but hopefully he'll try and improve his time with 1:17.2. And this has got a really slow lap. Let's have a look. Always a tenth quicker. So at the moment could be hitting 17.1. The way it looks at the moment, Tim. But again, it all depends on what ifs moments. And let's see if Reshka can try and push on in that Alpine car as well. So coming up to the last few corners now, needs to try and get a really good exit, and it could be 17.064, Tim.
So still third place for Reshka there in the Alpine. Michael Luke second ahead of him, and Keza still on the provisional pole with a 1:17.018. We'll go ahead and take a look at Eric Pancakes now in the Aston Martin and see what he's able to do. He is in the second sector at the moment, just now approaching that chicane. And let's see how he decides to take it, using just a tiny little bit of the bumpy curves. And he's pretty much nailing those apexes through that chicane, and then just trying to not go too wide through these sectors. And of course, you got to be very careful to not do the same mistake that Sav had. You can't spin it and go into the wall, but so far, Eric Pancake's keeping it clean.
Yeah, keeping it clean, and trying to do everything they can as well. Speed Queen, let's just cross the line with 1:19.295 on the medium tyres as well. Stinson is invalidated. Spud is 2/10 slower on his soft tyre. He's got to be careful not to ruin any more. Oh, he's invalidated his lap. He would have, I don't know whether he would have had a quicker time, but Nigel Gash did a 1:17.579. Just reading the comments there. Good evening to Williams Stevenson. How you doing, mate? Says Mon Rymac. Let's get 16 in the Alpha. Let's see if he can. He's only 5/10. Oh, 16.6 from Keza. We're 16.619, and Saab says just a typical first of night. Head up, Saab, head up. You never know in this race, you never know. But well done to Keza, 1:16.619.
You know, I just want to say that one of our viewers did ask for a 1:16 in the Alpha. Just might not have been the right Alpha they were looking for.
Yeah. They did not expect that. So,
well, Keza's in the Alpha Tauri. Technically, it's a 1:16 in the Alpha.
Yeah. One part of the Alpha, is the Alpha Tauri or the Alfa Romeo itself. But you never know. Hopefully Rymac can try and push on now. He's on his out lap now to try and get on his top tyres. But the time's coming in now, Tim, and seeing what we've seen at the minute, is there any shocks that you have seen so far?
Honestly, so far, just to see Sir Spud down there in 11th, you know, we I guess gotten used to seeing some performances from him after getting 2 podiums in a row there. So now to see him all the way back in 11th and seemingly struggling to just get a fast time down in a Ferrari, mind you, is a huge surprise. Now, he was in, I believe, the Mercedes, correct me if I'm wrong, last week. So the Ferrari is a little bit of a slower car, but it's still not a slow car when you compare it to, say, the Haas or the Alfa Romeo, as O'Steven goes a 1:17.248 in the Ferrari. Sir Spud and O'Steven car allocated teammates today in the Ferrari cars. So O'Steven is 5th, Sir Spud is 11th. That's where the Ferrari drivers are at the moment. Nitro Gash, let's take a look at him. He's on a flying lap and about to cross the line, but he does not improve his time. Still going to be in 8th place with a 1:17.579.
Yeah, so let's see what you can try and do as well. Stinson trying to get below 17.6 in the Haas car. If you do that, fair play. If you do, that would be epic in the Haas car as well. One of the worst cars in the performance series as well. So let's see what happens. Rymac was 300 slower on the second set. So let's see what he can try and do. He does not improve. He loses that 2/10. He was 2/10 slower overall, Tim.
Maddie goes to 11th, a 1:18.639 for the Williams driver. Let's take a look at, well, there's no one actually on a flying lap at the moment, but Stinson, he is on his out lap. We can go ahead and take a look at Stinson in the Haas. You were talking about how the Haas is the slowest car in the Performance League, and that it is. However, apparently Stinson and Speed Queen are fast drivers. The admins have decided to allocate them into the Haas cars, so I'm sure that they are probably sitting there saying, why'd you have to put me in the Haas? This is awful. And I gotta say, I feel for him because it is the Haas and it is awful and it is a slow car. But sometimes that's just how it works in the Performance League. Is these are obviously cars performing based off of their real life performance, and the Haas is just going to be slow. That being said, it doesn't mean you can't win. You just have to work a little harder at it.
Absolutely, it's not like a dig or anything at all. But it's more, if you're the fast driver and you're in the Haas car or one of the slowest cars, it just goes to show that you have, as a driver, you've improved massively. Especially when you go like from the fastest car, Mercedes or Ferrari, all the way down to the Williams. At the time, the Williams was the slowest car for like a few years until the Haas had joined recently. So yeah, so it's more of an improvement, and hopefully Stinson can try and emulate that and try and get into the 17s as well. Nigel Gash, the F3 title challenger, he's moved to second with 116.677. Rushman did had a slow time, but I'm wondering if he improved. He's 3/10 slower on the first sector, so if Stinson he's just invalidated his lap. So those are the only three drivers at the moment that are validated, trying to do their lap, Tim.
Yeah, Stinson, he's got a big red track map there. A huge invalidation for him, very unfortunate. And so far, it's Sir Spud on his outlap. No one on a flying lap at the moment. At least no one with fresh tires. And, what's going on now?
Stinson's retired. Stinson has retired. He was saying in the chat that he wanted to try and get into the 17s as quickly as possible. And Russman has just got himself into the 16.844. So unless Stinson cannot try and improve his time, he'll have fresh tyres to start off with at the Hungarian Grand Prix as well. So well done to Russman, actually. Got up to third place. We've got a couple of drivers just coming up their pit stops now. And here we go. Who will try and get pole position off Keza? I tell you what, Nigel Gash has just missed off by 600 a second, Tim. 600 a second as well.
Getting close up at the top of the board as Keza goes out for his outlap. Currently watching Sir Spud in the Ferrari. He's on the medium compound tire, so let's see what he's able to do. In fact, I'm very curious. He has set his best lap on the soft compound tire, so let's see if he is able to get a better time on the mediums. The track is a little bit grippier than it was about 15 minutes ago when Sir Spud set that lap time, so it is very possible. But he is running out of time, just under a minute and a half remaining in this qualifying session. If he invalidates this time, he's going to have to stay out for another lap, and if he invalidates that time, then he is just SOL as far as it comes to this qualifying session.
SOL. We'll have to wait and see what's going to happen so far from Sir Spud. But again, as you said about the tyre wear, Tim, Russman's already done 3 laps of those soft tyre, and he's in third place as well. That's going to compromise a lot with the tyre strategy coming up. So, Reshka coming up to the 16s. Oh, he moves up to third, though. He moves up to third, but not in the top 2 with 116.813. Ginger Tiger is 3/10 quicker, Tim. Oh, this is going to be close, actually. Can Ginger Tiger get a good exit at the last few corners? He needs to try and go through the DRS zone. And we'll have... Oh, he moves up to third now with a 116.784, Tim.
Taking a look at Matty in the Williams, he got a little bit of a slipstream off of Sir Spud down the front straightaway. Might have helped him to his advantage. Let's see what he's able to do as he's going through the uphill left-hander. Will ride on board with Matty as he is now in the second sector as Eric Pancakes is retired from the session. So Matty currently a 118.639 was his best lap time. He's on the soft compound tires, and this will be his only attempt at a better lap because the qualifying session has officially ended now. So Matty, he has got one shot and one shot only to do this. He cannot invalidate his lap here or he's going to be starting in the back. And, oh, he did invalidate. Matty invalidated, so it's not going to be the lap that he needs today. And Taraki's invalidated as well. Is there a driver that is not invalidated? Let's take a look at Rymac. He is good so far in the Alfa Romeo.
Purple, Tim. He's purple on the second sector. Let's see what he can try and do coming to the last few corners. He was 2/10 quicker, so 17.2. If he can get into the 60s, that'll be an epic time. Oh, 17 flat. 17.088. That was his best time. That was a good time, actually, from Rymac, Tim.
Very close and a good effort from Rymack. Not going to be in the 116s, but it is the next best step. Less than a tenth out of the 116s as Keza runs a 116.488. And Michael Luke is coming around the front straightaway to finish his lap, but it's not going to be an improvement. Very slow there for the Mercedes driver. Steven, meanwhile, in the Ferrari, he is coming out of the final corner. Let's see if he is able to improve his time as he crosses the line. He will not improve his time, or at least not improve his position on the board, and I think that might be all that she wrote, and that's going to be what our starting lineup is. Keza on the pole in the Alpha Tauri, Nitro Gash, and Ginger Tiger, your top three.
It's stellar of a job for the top three guys, to be fair. Absolutely stellar. Keza, I've been really impressed with that time. 16.4 on the Alpha Tauri as well. That's pretty much insane, to be fair, at the Hungarian Grand Prix as well. So we're just waiting for one of the drivers to retire. I believe that is Ginger Tiger. Once he retires, we'll go through the classification of the qualifying for the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League. If you like what you see so far, guys, please make sure you like and subscribe to the Invictus Racing League YouTube channel for all the live racing itself. We're aiming for at least 10 likes tonight, guys. 10 likes will be a massive help to us, a massive help to the league. Thank you so much. Tim, over to you.
And your official starting lineup for the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League is Keza on the pole, Nitro Gash in second, Ginger Tiger in third, Reshka in fourth, Russman in fifth, Michael Lutk in sixth, Rymack in seventh, eighth is Steven, Eric Pancakes in ninth, Sir Spud in 10th. 11th is Turok, Maddie in 12th, Stinson in 13th, 14th is Speed Queen 80, Sab in 15th, Party Trev in 16th, who did not set a time whatsoever, nor did Sab. Wondering why Party Trev didn't go out there. I mean, surely he understands that he's in a championship battle, and with only 2 points separating him and the second-place driver, I don't see how you can let something as silly as a bad starting position ruin that championship for you.
Absolutely. So, it could be mind games. It could be anything, Tim. Because when I was battling out for the title at Invictus a couple of seasons ago, I try and do a lap. But if I can't think I'll be able to do the lap, I'll try and make sure I get the best strategy ever by getting the free tyre wear as best as I can. But in that situation, especially, I know it's after the halfway mark, Tim. So let's just hope it could be one race where it could be anything different, to be fair. So you never know. You never know what's going to happen next. Danny Boy 1989 says early got a 2-stop to work on Tuesday. Came second behind, needed an extra lap nearly. Okay, so nearly got the 2-stop to work. So another Hungarian Grand Prix track is absolutely bad. It's absolutely horrendous with tyre wear. So I would not be surprised if people try and do the 1-stop to try go on the medium hards. But if they want to risk it for a biscuit, they might try and do the 2-stop, which is the soft. Like they could do the soft, medium, and soft if they want to. But again, we haven't heard anything from the weather crew or anything like that. We'll try and get that confirmed with you in a moment to do. But it's Beck. Oh, okay. No worries, Beck. But yeah, it's gonna be insane, to be fair. So yeah, it should be good in the hood as well, Tim.
Yeah, just waiting for the drivers to figure out their race strategy, what little bit that they can do. As you were saying, you know, we're going to be looking at soft to hards or hard to softs, or like you said, maybe a soft, medium soft. In my personal experience, I do not like the hard tires around this racetrack. I just cannot get them to grip. They are everywhere, and my times were awful. The way the car felt to me was awful. So anyone who can make the hard tires work, I know that it is a viable strategy, but anyone who can make them work and feel good on those tires, more power to you. I commend you for that, because I personally do not have that experience with the hard tires around here.
Absolutely, and it's good to save the tyre wear and try and go long if you've made a mistake or the safety car comes out really early than what you were planning to pit on as well. So there's always an advantage and disadvantage in the F1 race, and you just don't know which one to pick out which one would be the best one to go for, and to pick out the best one to beat your competitors as well. So, and while we're waiting for the drivers to start up, you always ask me every week. I'm going to ask you, who's your top 3 for this week?
Oh boy. Well, I'm gonna have to go with Keza as one of them. Obviously, I mean he is just super fast. Ginger Tiger is looking really good as well in 3rd place. And let's go for someone outside of the top 3 and go with Michael Luke.
Ooh. Yeah, it just depends. Ooh, this is quite tough actually. If Keza gets a good start, I'm going to say Keza. Nigel Gash. And I'm going to say Ginger Tiger. I know it's the top 3 that would qualify, but that's the only 3 I can think of that might do well tonight with the top 3 positions as well. Beck says hards are terrible. Mediums will go 25-30 laps if you look after them, but also 55% wear by lap 27. So it looks like a medium soft could be the way forward, depending on if your tyre wear is going to be absolutely fantastic. But from this situation, I don't think anyone has ever liked Hungary's track to drive around. Do you agree with that, Tim?
I mean, I don't exactly hate the track. It is a fun track to drive around, but I will definitely agree that the hard tires are awful for me around this race course. And it's just unfortunate because you kind of want to try those hard tires sometimes. I know personally I tried the hard tires at Imola, and they are fantastic. I love the hard tire compound around Imola, but it does not work here, at least for me, at Hungary.
It just all depends. It just all depends if they can try and emulate it. It just all depends if you manage it, and then if you get it well done, you'll be absolutely fine, completely fine with it. But you got to think you've got to be battling out with some of the drivers who are trying to beat you on track, and at the same time, you can't make a silly mistake at all. And if you do, you're just going to lose out. Completely lose out as well. So we're just waiting for but you have to wait and see.
I am hoping we're not having any kind of communication errors here. So, but at least we get to look at a pretty paddock. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of vibrant colors here, and I'm not even joking. There are actually vibrant colors. We're not just looking at gray tarmac. We get the blue and green Aramco, I don't know how to say that word, banners. We get the yellow and red DHL banners. It's just, we are at least getting to look at nice, vibrant colors. And hey, look, there's Valtteri Bottas's pit stop right there.
Absolutely, and hopefully, definitely there as well. So we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen from the drivers. We're just waiting for, I think we're waiting for a few drivers to confirm their setup or confirm their tyre wear. But again, I do agree with you. I hope we don't have any issues as well. Just reading some of the comments as well. As you mentioned, Tim, with Michael trying to do well into the top 3. It says, whole week already been sick, but we'll try. Haha. Thanks for your trust. So you got a big fan now from Mike as well. And Bex says, last game in 2019, soft hard was great, not in this game. So we've got some more stats as well than ever before. And but yeah, I mean, what's your thoughts of Pietro starting the back in more depth? Because I think it's more of a playing the game. I think it's just mind games. I think, to be fair, do you agree with that, or do you think he does not like the track at all and just hoping for the best with the fresh tyres situation?
Well, it could be mind games, and whatever reason he has, I'm sure that it's a good one. I just personally don't think that that is the right way to go about this. You are leading the championship by only 2 points, and you are starting in the back of the field. That is going to give you a lot of risk as you work your way up. Now, I know that you can be very careful and very cautious as you pass drivers, but it's still going to put yourself at a lot of risk that you may not have needed if you think that you could have gotten a good starting position, around the top 5, top 10. Now, again, you did point out that he could be playing the game and trying to go for an ideal strategy, and maybe instead of starting on the soft tires, maybe he wants to start on the hards or the mediums or something like that. So that could also very much be what he's doing. I'm just surprised that he didn't even attempt to make a lap. I don't even think he went out on track. So for whatever reason he had behind that, it could work for him. I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm just saying that from my perspective, at this moment, what I know, I'm very surprised at that decision.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think it's mind games. I think it's mind games, especially at this stage of the championship itself. So if I think if he messes, I think we're about to start now. Finally, we're about to start the race itself. So building to that question on Poitrev, I think let's just hope he has made the right call. If he gets a DNF or anything like that at all, and he doesn't compete with any of the drivers that are with the championship stakes, I think there'll be quite a few harsh words on him, to be fair, Tim. I think.
Well, we're about to find out what happens with his race and everyone else's race. We've got 16 drivers around the Hungaroring today, and there are your predicted stop strategies. The soft tires lasting only about 7 laps. You might be able to stretch it to about 9 or 10, but any longer than that, and you are hurting yourself. And I would even go so far as to argue that even stretching it beyond 7 or 8 laps, you're hurting yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. It just all depends. It's all the setup. If they can manage the tyre wear, they can do it easily. But it's this track. I don't know if the drivers are going to be at their very best to try and keep their strategy perfect as well. So, just to recap, Beck says, did he choose to start the back? He did not set a lap, mate. He did not set a lap at all. So yeah, he has started at the back. Saab unfortunately had a bit of a crash during the qualifying, so he started off in 15th place. But I think we have to wait and see how it all goes out, because Hungarian track, you just never know what to expect. And I hope we're going to see a few shocks along the way as well. And I cut to the near the end of the second sector into the third. If you like what you've seen so far, guys, please make sure you like and subscribe to the Invictus Racing League YouTube channel for all the live races itself. We are aiming for at least 10 likes tonight, guys. 10 likes. It will be a massive help to me and Tim as the commentators, and massive help to Invictus Racing League YouTube channel. Make sure we are aiming for at least 10 likes. Thank you so much, guys. Much appreciated. And as the cars are going onto the grid, Tim, each and every week, it's all yours.
And each and every week, it is an honor, Malk, as the drivers find their appropriate positions on the grid. It is going to be a wild and crazy race for the Performance League today, and we have 7 races remaining, counting this one today until the championship is decided. And it is a very tight battle between the top 5, 20 points separating the top 5 drivers, and the leader of the points is starting dead last, Party Trev, all the way back there in 16th. But here we go. We are ready. You hear those engines revving. You hear those itchy pedal feet. The drivers watching the lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights in the air. No red lights. We are green for the Invictus Racing League Performance League Hungarian Grand Prix. Keza getting a good start over the McLaren of Nitro Gas, but it's going to be a side-by-side battle, or just for a moment it was, going into turn number 1, and it still is. Maybe some contact from the Alpine of Reshka into the back of Nitro Gas, but everyone's getting away mostly clean. The AlphaTauri of Ginger Tiger, he's looking underneath of Nitro Gas, not going to be able to do anything with it. Just behind them, Russman in the McLaren trying to get around Reshka. Oh, and Russman spins, he spins, and now he is out, and the Aston Martin is out as well, maybe. No, they're not out of the race. They do not have race-ending damage, but they do have race-altering damage. Russman in 13th now, or 14th actually. He just continues to drop. Meanwhile, the battle for the lead, it still rages on between Nitro Gas and Keza. Nitro Gas approaching him in the chicane, but he is taking it very easy now. He understands that it's an early stage of the race, and he just needs to follow Keza. He doesn't necessarily need to pass him just yet.
Not just yet. I'm just watching the mid-pack itself, Tim. Stinson had a great move up to the 7th place on the hard tyres as well. So that is a great start for him. But hopefully he'll try and hold on. But he'll be under a lot of pressure from the track. who will not mess about with those soft tyres as well. Rymac's got a 3 second top end. I told you, Tarak has made the move against Stinson, and he has made the move and pulling away from Stinson. But Rymac has got a 3 second time penalty for multiple wins. Hopefully he'll try and get rid of it as quickly as possible. But Kenz's got the fastest up the race at the moment with a 1:23.960. Tim.
That was a fantastic move by Tarak to get around Stinson, and now Stinson loses another place to the Ferrari of O'Steven as they go down to turn number 1. O'Steven could have had a win last week, but it just did not come to fruition. Looking for a little bit of redemption today, running in the 8th position, just trying to find his way up to the front, but it is Keza who is in command of this race, 1.1 seconds over second place already of Nitro Cash. Oh, and Michael Luke is out! Luke is out! What has happened to the Ferrari? Or the Mercedes, excuse me.
Ferrari, Mercedes. Remember that next time. Yeah, Michael lost it. Michael lost it at turn 4, I believe. He lost it at turn 4. So he'll be he's out of the race. It's a shame for him because he had a great opportunity, but now he'll be out of the race and won't get any points at all during the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Now, to be fair, Malk, I was watching a Ferrari on my screen when that happened, and I think Michael Luke was in a Ferrari last week. So
I'll let you off just this once, Tim. Just this once. But you'll be fine. Absolutely fine. Joel says, good luck, lads. Well, it's been a good start up to just a few instances that we have seen with the crashes, but virtual safety car stopped now, and we're back on to racing. Keza trying to pull away with a 1.3 gap. DRS is now back up and enabled. So hopefully they'll try and push on massively. But Russman and Eric Paget are the only ones who've had the fresh tyres. It looks like Reshka's now goes into the pits, so he must have had damage as well, Tim.
Oh, and Tarak gets into the back of Rymac just out of the first corner. Don't think there's any wing damage on the Aston Martin, but that could have been a detrimental effect to his race had he hit him just a little bit harder. Rymac runs in 4th, Tarak in 5th at the moment, and Tarak is one of those drivers that's in that championship battle. He's in 5th, 20 points out of the lead, and let's take a look actually at the driver who is in 1st, Party Trev. He is working his way up through the field already in the 11th position. Looks like he has just overtook Sab in the Red Bull for the 11th place. Now he's got his sights set on the Ferrari of Sir Spud for 10th. Just ahead of Sir Spud is Speed Queen 80 in the Haas machine. You can see a little bit of a gaggle of cars up there running nose to tail just in a nice, neat little line. But make no mistake that this could turn pretty hectic any minute now as Sir Spud tries to get closer to Speed Queen 80, who has her sights set on Maddie just ahead of her.
Yeah, absolutely. Just watching Sir Spud now, who's getting close to Speed Queen. And I thought it was a bit of a move at the top of the grid, but made a mistake. So Spud trying to make the move on to Speed Queen, on to 9th place, but not enough at the moment. Keza, again, Nitro Cash has got himself into the fastest lap situation with 120.402. But yeah, absolutely mad speed, to be fair. And Tarak has made the move. The yellow flag sectors 2 and 3. That might be Reshka. Reshka's out. Virtual safety car, Tim.
And a virtual safety car right as Party Trev lost a spot to Sab. Unfortunate for Reshka. Did you see what happened?
I did not see what happened visually on my screen, but looking at the map, it was straight after, just before the end of the second sector into the third, Tim.
So that's an interesting place to DNF, is sort of in the middle of that straightaway, so I almost wonder if he just got a little bit loose out of that corner just ahead of it, and he was able to dance with the car a little bit before he just slid into the wall, and ultimately a tire coming off and ending his race.
Absolutely, and now I think he might have caught the curb and lost it completely and hit the wall, which could happen during the race. Unfortunately for Reshka now, he's out of the race of the Hungarian Grand Prix. Rymac is getting close to Tarak and trying his best, but we've got that battle going. We've got a 4-car battle for 8th between Matty, Speed Queen, Spud and Sab as well. So we have to wait and see what happens now. Let's see what's going to happen. But that's the only battles we have got so far. Let's see how Spud now can try and put the pressure on Speed Queen. But yeah, mad scenes tonight, Tim.
So Sab so far holding his own here, just staying close to Sir Spud and Speed Queen, and actually had a nice overtake over Party Trap. So Sab, he doesn't really give himself enough credit. He might have a little bit of pace around here. I know he's in 11th right now, and he's not really you know, doing anything to write home about. But slowly but surely, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw this Red Bull make his way up through the pack. But so far, Sir Spud's doing a good job at holding him off, and Speed Queen 80 doing a good job at holding Sir Spud off, though it's starting to become not so much as her holding him off as it is Maddie holding Speed Queen 80 off, because with every passing lap, she is able to eat away at that gap just ahead of him. But it's dancing around 6 to 7 tenths of a second between Maddie and Speed Queen, and I'm almost thinking that they're kind of starting to get stuck into a little bit of a slipstream train here, to where they can't make any overtakes. Normally it'd be a DRS train, but we really only have one viable DRS zone.
Yeah, one viable DRS zone. I like how you said dancing with those cars. I was wondering, is it the back end that's just loose completely? The dance moves kicking in as well. So at the moment, this is the only battle we've got at the moment we can see between Matty, Speed Queen, Spud and Sab on lap 6 of 35 of the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League at the Hungarian Grand Prix. Absolutely mad scenes, to be fair. If you just joined, ladies and gentlemen, where have you been? You missed out some mad starts. Can Saab now make the move? No. They're on that, as you rightly said, Tim, they're on that DRS train, which they can't get rid of massively. Here we go. Can they try and make the move now? But when you're in that situation, Tim, you don't know what to do at all. You try and make the move, but the driver ahead of you's got that DRS, and it's just unfair, isn't it?
It's infuriating, Mount, because you know that you're faster and that you can get around them, but unfortunately, because they're in a DRS train, you're really not going to go any further. The only thing that you can do to counter that is to try to get a better exit out of the previous corner, and even that is no guarantee that it's going to work.
Yeah, it's just a problem though, because you try and get everything you do to try and make the move, but when you try and get the DRS, they've got the DRS, and I can't even make this move until someone breaks the slipstream or try and use all that ERS, and they're using all that ERS as much as possible to get around it. And looks like Keza, Nojagash, and Keza and Nojagash are the only ones who pitted early on the softs. So they'll be going on the mediums. So they'll probably go all the way to the end of the lead, Tim.
So they are trying the undercut. That is actually a very viable move around here, and really a viable move just with these cars the way that they are now. So Keza technically didn't have to do the undercut, so to speak, because normally you're talking about a driver trying to overtake the driver through pit strategy, but nonetheless, pitting a little bit early isn't going to be that detrimental to their race, because the soft tires start to wear out at about lap 7 anyway. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if a few of these drivers could stretch it to lap 8 or maybe 9, just simply because the virtual safety cars allow the tires to have a little bit more of breathing room. But you're going to start seeing some pit stops for the remaining 4 drivers on soft tires here very soon, and that should actually give Stinson on the hard compound tires the lead if everything goes as it looks like it's going to. Stinson currently in a very tight battle between the Ferrari of O. Steven, staying very close to him, definitely within DRS range, and he will have DRS down the front straightaway, regardless of if O. Steven pits, actually. So let's see if Stinson is able to get a nice fast lap here, because that is what he's going to need. And how many drivers are going to pit? O. Steven will decide to pit this time as he goes into the pit lane. So at least one driver's pitting. It looks like Tarak is pitted as well. So Stinson, he should have DRS. Let's see if he does. He does. That rear wing is open. So that means Stinson can just fly down this front straightaway and make up a few spots here. Goes up to 3rd, and Ginger Tiger and Maddie, the only 2 drivers who started on the softs who have yet to pit.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm wondering if Ginger Tiger and Rymac can try and go as long as possible with those softs, because the softs, it's absolutely deadly. It's absolutely deadly. The reason why I said deadly is because the tyre wear is not that great, especially in these situations as well. And Nojagash is getting close to Keza. Keza's on the hard tyres. Nojagash is on the medium tyres. So, interesting call for Keza. I think he's trying to play it safe, but is that going to compromise too much, Tim?
I honestly don't know. I'm starting to wonder if maybe the hard tires aren't going to be as bad of an option as we were thinking, Mouth, because a lot of drivers have decided to go on the hard tires. Of course, you see Stinson, who just unfortunately picked up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. He is on the hard tires. He started on the hard tires. So he's obviously going to try for that one stop, going hard to softs. And you know what? Who knows? It might actually work for him. We were saying that the hard tires, they feel awful around this track, but it doesn't mean that the right driver with the right setup and the right car and the right driving style could make it work. So Stinson, so far he's doing very well. Let's see how the other drivers who have decided to pit for the hards are going to make it work. But we are having a little bit of a DRS train down the front straightaway behind Stinson. You got it looks like Sab rounding out the back of that. And oh my goodness, the Ferrari of Sir Spud goes off the track, hangs on to it, I do believe. But that was a big moment for Sir Spud.
I think he just lost the braking point, or just did not realise that the other drivers ahead were getting a little bit early braking scenario. But hopefully that's not going to compromise too much at the moment. But that was a close call for Sir Spud. That could have been catastrophic moments at the moment. Just having a look. Keza, I've got another battle between Keza and Nitrogas and Player, which I'm just watching now while you're watching the top end of that 4-car battle. It was that 4 or 5-car battle, and that looks epic as well. So yeah, mad scenes, Tim.
So now that Stinson's pulling away a little bit, we're taking a look at Matty, and I'm almost wondering, Stinson pulling away in the Haas, I mean, the fact he's in the Haas means he's a fast driver. That's just how the allocations are. But I'm starting to think, are the hard tires starting to become fast and the medium tires already starting to wear out? We were talking about how tire degradation around this race course is just terrible. And normally you're going to see medium tires at most tracks last about 15 to 20 laps, just a nice ballpark number. But I'm wondering if maybe they're starting to show their age a little bit this early on.
It's too early to say, I think. It's really too early to say. Look, Speed Queen overtook Matty for 4th place, so she's doing absolutely stellar job at the moment. But yeah, the medium tyres, they shouldn't last. They should last long, Tim. They should last long. But again, it could be differences. It could be their setup. It could be anything. We don't know. But the way it looks at the minute is it could be their setup is not at their very best with the tyre wear itself, Tim.
Oh, and Sav, he had a little bit of an opportunity to look under Matty, but thought better of it. Meanwhile, Sir Spud, that's going to allow him an opportunity to look underneath Sav, but he also thinks better of it as they enter this chicane, and that is a very wise move by both of those drivers. You do not want to go side by side through there. You can barely fit one car through there, much less two. So, trying to avoid the bumper cars today. Good job by these drivers. Sav, though, very close to Matty. Look at how close he is, and this might be his opportunity. He gets alongside him. It's side by side. Red Bull versus Williams, and Sav with the preferred line into the corner. Goes a little bit wide, though. Matty might be able to charge back ahead of him. Sir Spud is all the way back there. Not even a factor, but it is going to be Sav who wins out over Matty for the 5th position.
That's the old Sav that we like to see. Try and make the move into a good position as well, and Ginger Tigers now finally goes into the pits. So where's Rymac? Rymac's still going out. Rymac is still going out with 10 laps already on those soft tyres, Tim.
So I want to know what's going on with Rymac to be out there that long. 10 laps on the soft tires. That is almost unheard of around here.
Absolutely. And so Spud, we got 2 in a bed moment. Spud and Keza. Oh, they're going to be careful. They're going to be careful. Oh my God, this is going to be mad. Got to be careful. So Spud is going ahead of Keza for 6th place, Tim.
So Keza trying to follow Sir Spud through. He's not going to have another passing opportunity here for quite a few corners, and that has got to be infuriating for the AlphaTauri driver, especially knowing that he is on a fresher compound tire. 3 laps on those hard tires. Sir Spud, he's got 10 laps on those medium tires. So let's see if Keza's going to be able to make a move around that Ferrari driver sooner rather than later. This might be his opportunity out of this corner. Oh, but they both go wide. Keza has a moment, has to correct the car a little bit, so this will not be his striking opportunity. Sir Spud, though, getting close to Matty. That could be Keza's best friend right now, is Matty in that Williams, because he could slow up the Ferrari driver just enough to let Keza pounce. And Keza will have DRS down the front straightaway, but guess what, Mount? So will Sir Spud. So how viable is this really going to be? How much of an advantage is it going to give Keza? He got a good exit out of the final corner. He's going to be able to get around Sir Spud now. But does he clear him? Yes, he does, going into turn number 1. And now, it's 3 wide into turn number 1 with the McLaren on the inside and the Ferrari on the outside. AlphaTauri, the cream in the middle of this sandwich, and 3 wide still going into the 3rd corner here.
Oh, Nitrogash got himself on. Unbelievable scenes up to 4th place. I tell you what, Tim, brilliant drive. I don't know if there was any. Well, there was definitely contact between Spud and Keza. To be fair, though, I think Keza was trying to avoid the contact with Nitrogash, but Spud had to go on the left. He had nowhere to go. He had no other choice but to go on the left. But I don't know if I can't see any damage limitations from Spud unless I'm mistaken. But I'm just going to have a quick look, Tim. I'm just going to have a quick look. Looks, as far as I can see, Tim, there's no damage, but it could be minor damage by the looks of things, Tim.
So Keza thought about making a move underneath Matty there for a second, not able to do anything with it. And I'm wondering just when are these hard tires going to start to come in, as Rymac has officially pitted, apparently just that last lap. So Stinson is ahead of this race, 11 laps on his hard tires. So as I watch the interval between Stinson and Sab, he's not really gaining a lot over Sab. In fact, he is losing a significant amount to the Red Bull as we see Keza go around Matty in that Williams, and Keza clears him by the time they get to turn number 1, but Matty very close to the back of Keza out of turn number 1, and now he is just watching the AlphaTauri driver pull away those fresh hards, definitely doing a number for the AlphaTauri driver in clean air. But Sab, he was gaining a little bit on Stinson. Now he's kind of stagnated just a little bit as they go under the uphill left-hander, and you can see that there's a few spots at the track to where Sab is quicker than Stinson, but then Stinson's a little bit quicker than Sab, I think, on exit.
Absolutely, but the pressure's on Poitra to step up, because at the moment he's under a lot of pressure on Tarak is Trek. Trek then. Tarak, I've lost the voice now. Tarak is trying to close the gap, but again, Poitra with 12 laps already on that medium tyres already from the start, with Russman already 10 laps of those hard. So these two are battling out for the stallions himself. And now Tarak could have a good run out. Oh my God, there could be contact. Oh no, there's contact! There's contact! Oh my God, what's going on there? There's three cars. It looked like Ginger Tiger. I don't know if it was Ginger. I could not see what happened to him because the camera view was a bit off at all. But Ginger Tiger, Russman, and Tarak have all had damage. Tim.
And meanwhile, Sab has been able to get it by Stinson, not able to see what you saw, Mal, saw the very tail end of it. And then Sab overtook Stinson, assuming into turn number 1. So now Sab is pulling away those medium tires. Definitely the way to go, it's looking like. Stinson on those hard tires, they are wearing out very, very quickly. And at this moment, if Stinson wanted to make a pit stop to try to gain a little bit on the rest of the field before he loses even more spots, his only option would be the medium tire. And I even question if the medium tire would last the 21 laps required around this racetrack, but he is on a little bit of a lighter fuel load, so it should theoretically be enough. However, the tire wear might be screaming at the end of the race.
Might be, but it just all depends if he can try and keep that consistency going with the tire wear itself. That's the big question. Stinson could have the DRS, but he's under a lot of pressure from Nitrogash, who's on the medium tyres. It's going to be, you might be right, Tim. They're going to be screaming at him, saying, "Ah!" And they're going to be like, "Ah!" They're making the move. Nitrogash made the move into second place. He will have the DRS. Same with Stinson. Will Stinson bounce back? Will Stinson bounce back? He tried to have a quick glance on the inside move. I'm so sorry, Tim, if I scared you massively on there. Oh. Mad sees him.
So Nitrogash moves up into second place with the slightly fresher medium tires than what Sab has. Will Nitrogash be able to catch and overtake Sab on those fresher mediums, with tire degradation being is critical here as it is? I do believe that even 7 laps difference is going to make a significant difference between these two. So it is Sab, Nitrogash, and Stinson, your top 3. Speed Queen 80 and Keza, your top 5. Rymac, Party Trevo, Steven, Tarak, and Eric Pancakes, your top 10. This is the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League, brought to you in partnership by GridFinder.com, Nailcoat Hall, GT Omega, and Driver 61. Right now, we will go ahead and take a quick look at our points leader of Party Trev, running in the 7th position. He started in 16th. He was not able, or did not, set a qualifying time for whatever reason. Not sure if that was an issue just with him or if he just decided not to do that, but it doesn't matter now because he's made his way up into the 7th position so far with a decent rebound. A safety car could put him back into contention, as now we have Nitro Gash and Sab trading spots. And no! Nitro Gash has spun! What's happened to Nitro Gash?
Nitro Gash has spun. He's lost the back end, and he's lost a bit of his front wing, Tim. He's lost a bit of his front wing.
Nitro Gash is going to have a long drive back to the pit lane, and that is an unfortunate turn of events for Nitro Gash. He was just there trying to make a move over Sab, but as you can see, it just did not quite work out.
Absolutely, and looks like Eric Pancakes has lost it at turn 13, just into the third sector as well. So that's where the yellow flags are kicking off. But the only battle we've got so far, Tim, is Speed Queen battling out with Keza for third place.
And apparently something has happened to Party Trev as well. Something has happened to Party Trev since then, as he has dropped all the way down to the 14th position, and I don't believe he's in his car at the moment, so he is having a lot of issues today. And Nitro Gash now got overtaken by Rymac. Rymac already very far ahead of him, so something, definitely a miss on the McLaren car. As you said, missing a front wing, it will do that. But beyond that, you got to think Nitro Gash, he's not a happy camper right now at all, as now Keza has moved into the second position as Sab has decided to make a pit stop. He's going on to the hard tire. Speed Queen 80 inherits the third position. 16 laps on those mediums, 16 laps on the hards for Stinson. When will Stinson be pitting for the soft tires, Malk?
I think he'll probably pit probably about lap 28 to 30. I reckon 28 to 30, maybe maybe less. But he needs to time it well, because he needs to try and get a 20-second gap, because Keza's going to be closing the gap, and the way everyone's going at the minute, let me just have a look at the leader. So at the moment, if he pits now, I reckon he'll pit for the mediums. I reckon if he does pit for the mediums, I reckon he'll pit in the next few laps or so for the mediums, just to play it safe. But again, he will come out in 5th, and he'll be the one to watch, the way it looks at the moment, Tim.
So far, Stinson, Keza, Speed Queen, Rymac, Sab, your top 5. Oh, Steven, Turok. Oh, but now it's Matty getting around Turok, so he has decided to overtake that Aston Martin driver. Where's Turok? Turok, he must have had a moment, actually. He must have had a spin-off, because he's dropped down to 9th now, and he was going very slow. So Turok, he had a moment through that chicane, and now he is going back on track. He is in the 9th position, but he's lost 2 spots to Matty and Sir Spud, not what the 5th place driver in the championship standings needed today.
Absolutely not. He did not want that at all, but that's going to... Again, this is what I was saying. If you play your cards right, you'll be absolutely loving it, but at the minute, damage limitations, and the way it looks at the minute, obviously every position will guarantee you points. Anyway, they'll guarantee points, but at the same time, it's going to compromise too much. Wherever it happens tonight, I think Russman will, unless O'Steven makes a good result, it's going to be a massive wherever happens. So it'll be Russman probably staying. It will be moving up to first here.
So we got a battle for the lead between Stinson and Keza. Keza, our pole sitter today. He has been a man on a mission. He has been the fastest car, I do believe, and he has caught Stinson 0.7 of a second, separating him and the leader in that Haas car. Stinson 17 laps on the hard tires, Keza 10 laps on the hard tires. So both of these drivers do not have super fresh softs on their cars, but Stinson definitely suffering a detrimental effect from the older tire wear. But Stinson is holding out, I do believe, for those soft tires, an option that might be disappearing here as Keza overtakes him with relative ease going into turn number 1. So Stinson, maybe he won't be able to win, but if he holds out for the soft tires, hopefully he can work his way up through the pack. But maybe he should start thinking about pitting early and going on the mediums.
Yeah, he should think about it now, because if he can get into the pits, he might have a challenge for the lead, or possibly finish it off in the top 3 as a guarantee. But the curb, like I said, if he can manage the curbs as well, he'll be absolutely fantastic. But Keza in prime position to, as long as he doesn't make any mistakes, will be prime position to win this Invictus Racing League, the Performance League. We've got Russman the pressure on Tarak now for 9th. If you like what we've seen so far, guys, please make sure you like and subscribe to the Invictus Racing League YouTube channel for all the live races itself. We are aiming for at least 10 likes tonight, guys. We're aiming for at least 10 likes. It will be a massive help to us, to me and Tim with the commentators, as well as the Invictus Racing League on the YouTube channel. Cheers for that, guys. Thank you so much.
So Russman getting close to the back of the Aston Martin, up to Rock, going through the chicane there, and Russman goes a little bit wide. Russman, another one of those drivers in that championship battle. He is second entering this race, 2 points behind Party Trev. Of course, if the race were to end right now, Party Trev would lose his points lead. So that's another thing to think about. Party Trev, if he can get back into his car, he needs to start thinking about that now. And Russman got very close to the back of the Aston Martin into that corner and going to try it again. Looking on the outside, or maybe trying to crossover move. The Aston Martin keeps the car glued to the inside of the racetrack. One more corner to go for this lap between these two, and before Russman can get the DRS onto Tarak, but he did not get the exit he was needing, but it might not matter because he's got DRS. Tarak trying to break up that slipstream, but he can do nothing as Russman goes underneath him. Almost some contact between the two, but Russman will clear Tarak, move him up into the 9th position. Oh, and then Tarak under the back of Russman, and he went off the track. Tarak did. Russman stayed on course, but Tarak went very wide and into the grass. He hangs on to it. No damage as far as I can tell on that Aston Martin, but that was a close moment for Tarak.
I bet he's pouring his sweat. I bet he's pouring his sweat completely with that situation. But Russman will try and close the gap to O'Steven as well for 6th place at the moment. But he's in 9th at the minute, trying to catch up to Sir Spud and Mr. Matthew, who are both on the hard tyres as well. Stinson's now already pitted for the medium tyres and putting the chase on Sab for 4th place. Tim.
So Sab doing a very great recovery after wrecking out in the qualifying session. He could actually possibly be on for a podium here today, Mal. What do you think? I think that he is going to be on for a podium. It's very close for Sab, and you got to think, he has really been beating himself up recently. He's had some bad results. He has not had the season that he has wanted, and he has stayed in that Red Bull for, I think, the majority of the season and still has not been able to put together results. But if he could get a podium today, then that would shoot his confidence through the roof, and who knows what it could do to his performance.
Regarding Sab to get a podium, don't forget he's got a 5-second penalty. He's got a 5-second penalty. Rymac's got a 3-second penalty, and Stinson has got a 3-second time penalty. If Sab can close the gap to Rymac in 3rd and try and pull away, yes, I reckon he'll have the greatest result that he's ever had for a very long time on the Invictus Racing League, on the Performance League. I really do. I feel for him because he's absolutely he's had a really bad season, to be fair, and hopefully the confidence will hit the roof if he gets a podium or a top five finish. I reckon if he plays his cards right, top 3 would be even super for him, Tim.
So maybe Sab on the podium, maybe not on the podium, who knows? But that is the thing. Time penalties, they will be a detrimental effect to your race. We showed them to you. We'll show them to you again. 3 seconds for Rymac, 5 for Sab, 3 for Stinson, 3 for Sir Spud, 5 for Sir Spud, and then 5 for Ginger Tiger, and 3 for Eric Pancake. So for the most part, drivers have kept it clean, but a few time penalties on the board, which of course that is going to happen, most of the time you're going to see time penalties. In fact, I don't think we have commentated on a race map that did not have time penalties.
That is very rare, Tim. That's very, very rare to have a no penalty race. That is really rare. I'm hoping we do get that one of the days, but I doubt that very much. Unless miraculously we turn off penalties, we turn off corner cutting. That's the only way to get no penalties at all. But the way it looks at the minute, it's hard when you try and force your car to get the fastest lap. You do bound to try and cut the corners to try and keep within the limits, obviously, but it's the rhythm going as well, to be fair, Tim.
So Russman gained a lot of ground on Sir Spud and Matty on the entry of that corner. He's got the gap to Sir Spud down to just 0.4 of a second. Sir Spud, though, being held up by Maddie, definitely helping Russman. Russman on the medium tires, Maddie and Sir Spud on the hard tires, so about the same age on all of their tires, 6, 7, 8 laps, now 9 laps on them. And now Sir Spud goes around Maddie into turn number 1. Will he be able to clear him before he gets there? Yes, just barely, though. And Russman could not take advantage of it. Tried to, anyway, and he's got the DRS over Maddie now, and he's going to overtake him, but will he clear him? Yes, he does. Maddie loses 2 spots down the front straightaway and into the next corner. So Maddie drops from 7th to 9th in just the first sector of this lap and picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Not a good lap for Maddie so far.
Damage limitations going from bad to worse for Matty. I was hoping he was going to say it went from 2 positions down to a 3-second time penalty to top it off on the icing. Okay, but hopefully Matty will bounce back. I know Matty, he will bounce back as quickly as possible. 2 battles going at the minute. Suspended and Russman with 7th and 8th positions, and Tarak and Nordigash for 11th and 12th. Those are the only 2 battles. Well, actually 3 now, with Saab and Stinson now getting close to each other for 4th place, Tim.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and take a look at Sab and Stinson as the battle between Nitrogash and Tarak has calmed down. Sab getting a little bit closer to Stinson there, but not really able to do anything with it into turn number 1. Stinson on those medium tires, though, really working his way up through Sab. Of course, Sab trying to defend and then ultimately attack Stinson once again, but as you can see, Sab is just dropping and dropping and dropping. He's going very slow, actually. I'm wondering what's going on with the Red Bull. Is there some wing damage or something?
I don't think so. I don't think there was any. I didn't see any damage. We'll see what happened, but I'm hoping. I think
there is wing damage. There actually is wing damage on the Red Bull. Yes, he does not have a right side end plate, so he cannot even make these corners. So there must have been some contact between him and Stinson. And Stinson, there is no damage that I can see on that Hoskar, so I'm wondering if there was any contact. I mean, obviously, Sab hit something, but did he hit Stinson, or did Stinson hit him?
I don't know. To be honest, I didn't. I apologise. I did not notice that Sab did have wing damage at all. But I'm hoping he'll try and bounce back as quickly as possible. But yeah, I'm hoping. I think he must have had contact with Stinson because there was no. He was all right. He was trying to close the gap. He must have had contact unless we got a mistake. If we do apologise for that, guys. But and now Stephen trying to pull away, try and catch up. It looks like Rymac putting the pressure on Speed Queen. Oh my God, 2 in a bad moment. Can Rymac now make the move? He nearly made the move to the Speed Queen, but Speed Queen 24 laps already on those medium tyres, Tim.
24 laps, and she's still running in the 2nd place. That is amazing. She's definitely holding on for the soft tires, and it's looking like maybe it's going to work for her. Now would be about the time to pit for the soft tires, though. If they can last 7 laps at the beginning of the race, I don't see why they cannot last about 10 laps at the end when you have a lighter fuel load in that car. And she is losing a lot of ground now, staying out there on those old medium tires. So she needs to be thinking about pitting, if not this lap, then the next lap, because Rymac is right on the back of that Hoskar and now looking underneath the Hoskar, trying to overtake her. But I have to commend her. She is holding Rymac off very well, and she has tires on her car that are twice as old as Rymac's. As now Tarak is out of the race. What has happened there?
I think he's retired in the pits. And Speed Queen finally got herself into the pits now. So Rymac in 2nd place. Stinson in 3rd place, as far as we could see at the moment. But Tarak has left Hungary and left the pits itself. But at the moment, I'll be very surprised. Well, I'll just say I wouldn't be surprised if Speed Queen. Okay, here's a question for you now, Tim. Do you think Speed Queen will get into the top 3 with the softs now?
I honestly, Malk, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, top 5, yes, she's only about 3 seconds behind Russman, but the top 3, that is going to be a bit of a gamble. Let's take a look at the time penalties here. And you see Stinson has 3 seconds, Rymac has 3 seconds, so it is actually very possible that Speed Queen 80 could get into the top 3. but she is going to have to pretty much run a lot of qualifying laps, but she's got to also be careful to not put a lot of wear on those soft tires, because they do wear out very quickly, and Stinson just picked up another time penalty, so that is going to help Speed Queen 80 and subsequently everyone behind Stinson that's close to him. So maybe Speed Queen 80 can get that podium now, but she is still going to have to get past Russman and O'Steven and make sure she's within 6 seconds of Stinson. And if she picks up a time penalty herself, then it's all out the window.
Unless she gets past O'Steven and Russman and maybe a 3-second gap between herself and Stinson, she has got a chance. So don't ever write off anyone until the very last second or the very last millisecond of the lap of the race itself. So at the moment, Speed Queen could have a chance to close the gap onto Russman. So as you've already said, Tim, she's going to have to put a lot of time away. And Ginger Tiger loses out to Suspard. You know, Simon's like, oh my god, two in a bed moments, Ginger Tiger, and contact between Suspard and Ginger Tiger for 7 and 8, Tim.
So a very tight battle there. Ginger Tiger trying to make his way around and is able to do so. Sir Spud loses out the 8th position. Now he tries to fight back but can't really do much with it. There is a small chicane coming up here, and that is not a passing zone. So Sir Spud is going to have to follow the AlphaTauri driver through until he can find another opportunity to overtake this driver. But I think it's amazing the speed that the AlphaTauri cars have had around here today, because Keza started on the pole and he is leading the race by 13 seconds. Ginger Tiger, he started in 3rd. He is in 7th place and pulling away from the Ferrari of Sir Spud. So not a bad day for AlphaTauri. And remember, these are not teammates. They are only car allocated teammates. They share a pit box and that is it. But as the way we allocate the cars is the fast drivers go to the slow cars, the slow drivers go to the fast cars, and it doesn't matter if your teammate is in a different car than you. That's just how it works in the Performance League. As Speed Queen 80 has ran the fastest lap of the race, so she is definitely a woman on a mission here, trying to catch Russman, but Russman and O'Steven are having a bit of a battle now, as O'Steven looking underneath Russman, and Russman trying to defend with that McLaren. Some contact.
This is going to be make or break moves.
Oh, and what a fantastic move by Russman. He got out of the throttle early into that corner, let O'Steven overshoot it, and then he went around him on the inside. What a fantastic move by Russman. That was 2,000 IQ thinking right there, and that is going to allow Speed Queen 80 to get right up to the back of these two drivers. And as it sits now, if the race were to end at this very minute, I think that Speed Queen 80 would be able to get the podium if she gets by O'Steven and Russman. If the race were to end at this very minute, though, it would be Russman getting the podium over Stinson because of those time penalties. Something has happened to Malk's mic, by the way. So Malk, he is unfortunately not with us at the moment.
Hello?
And Nitro Gash, he is now retired from the session. Something's happened to Nitro Gash. Did he wreck out? Yes, he did. And we have a safety car. Malk, are you with us?
Yeah, we have some technical difficulties at the minute, Tim. But at the moment, I've seen a few drivers who are having a bit of technical faults from their end. But unlucky for Nitro Gash. Did you see what happened, Tim?
Unfortunately, I did not. I was watching Speed Queen 80, and you know, it's a bit of a shame that that did not happen maybe 20 seconds earlier, because then we would have seen a lot of drivers diving down into the pits to get a fresh set of soft tires, and then we would have a nice little shootout to end this race. But we are under a full course safety car. Speed Queen 80, she had worked her way up to the back of O'Steven and Russman before the safety car came out. So now let's see what the tire strategy is going to be for these guys. If you're Keza, do you pit? Yes, you do. That's what he's doing right now for the soft tires, and that is the smartest option to go with, because you know everyone else behind you is going to pit and is going to be ready to pounce. But when do you not pit? If you're Speed Queen 80, do you not pit, or do you go ahead and pit anyway? Speed Queen 80, she's got 2 laps on those soft tires. So under the safety car conditions, it is going to conserve those tires a little bit. So she might be able to get away with not pitting and gain some spots, but she has decided to stay out, actually. She was thinking about pitting, but she's decided to stay out. So she is going to gain at least 2 spots, maybe 3, maybe more. Let's see where she ends up. At the end of the pit straight, she's not going to be first, but she might be third. She's going to be in the 3rd position. Yes, she is. Keza, Rimac, and Speed Queen 80. This is the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League, brought to you in partnership by Nelco Hall, Driver 61, GT Omega, and GridFinder.com. And you are watching the final 5 laps of this race. We are under a safety car, which will be lifted soon, and then we will have a nice soft tire shootout for the finish.
Yeah, hopefully for the shootout as well, Tim. We should have some unbelievable scenes. Again, I do apologise if you do not hear me. There is some technical faults still from my end, so I'm hoping you can still hear me. If not, I will have to leave the commentators box for now. But with 5 laps left of the safety car, Tim, let's see what's going to happen. But well done. I'm going to say fair play to Speed Queen, though, Tim. Fair play to her.
Yeah, fair play indeed. I mean, she held out on the medium tires as long as she could, and then a safety car gave her a little bit of luck, so now she has inherited the 3rd position, and she does not have any time penalties. That's probably the biggest thing that's working in her favor right now, is she does not have time penalties. Rimac ahead of her, he does. Stinson behind her, he does. And even all the way back in the 7th, Maddie, he does. So out of the soft tire runners that you're seeing, 4 of those drivers have time penalties. In fact, that's really the only drivers that are on track are the soft tire runners, with the exception of Party Trev with 10-lap-old hard tires. However, I think Party Trev has had a communication issue with his car, so I'm unaware whether or not he currently has control of that Williams. Hopefully, for the championship's sake, he does. But Party Trev not having the day that he needed around the Hungaroring.
Absolutely, and he didn't want to do that at all. He wanted to try and put on a lot of pressure on the standard itself, but as of tonight, unless there's a dramatic ending, I can't see him keep up that 1st place. I think Russman will be the one to watch and try and stop after the Hungarian Grand Prix, Tim.
If my math is correct, then if the race were to end right now, Russman would walk away the points leader after this race, because they were only separated by 2 points.
Correct me, yeah. I think you are right, Tim. I think you are right. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think you might be right, but it just all depends on the situations of the standards itself. So, but I cannot wait for a dramatic ending on the soft tyres finale, shall we say. I think the safety car is going to come in on this lap, Tim.
So it's going to be a 4-lap shootout with drivers on the soft tires. Keza, he has been dominant all day, but this is the closest that he has had drivers to him in quite a while. He has gotten used to being out in clean air by his lonesome, and now he has got everyone joining his party, and he doesn't want them there. So he's going to try to run away from these guys and get far, far away, so he does not have to worry about losing out to a win that could very well be in his future if he continues on to the pace that he has had. Rimac in 2nd place with a time penalty, just trying to salvage a podium if it's even possible. Speed Queen 80 trying to get a podium, and Stinson back there in 4th, also trying to get a podium. A lot of drivers here trying to get as much as they can, but remember, Stinson, he's got 6 seconds with a time penalty, so that podium is a little less likely than everyone else, as we are now back green. Keza, Rimac, Speed Queen 80, Stinson, Russman, your top 5, and a little bit of jostling around for position in the back. Ginger Tiger and Maddie having a couple of moments there, but they keep it clean into turn number 1. And Maddie actually lost 2 spots. Sir Spud goes around him, and now a 5-second time penalty for Stinson. So this is another communication error. These time penalties do not apply. They likely will be removed by stewards after this race. So do not mind those ignoring yellow flag penalties, as Keza has now been able to get out ahead of Rimac, and Speed Queen 80 is hanging on to the 3rd position, but just barely, as Stinson is right up on the back of her. 2 Haas cars battling it out for the 3rd position, but Stinson, with I think now about 11 seconds with the time penalties, is not going to be able to get that podium. Malk, are you with us?
Sorry, Tim. I'm still having some technical difficulties from my end. Could you repeat what you said? Sorry.
I was just wondering if you were with us. I can hear you, and I can hear you loud and clear. Not sure if there's other things that you're having issues with, but it is lap 32 of 35, and Stinson is right on the back of Speed Queen 80. The DRS is not active yet, so it is just going to be pure pace here, and Keza runs the fastest lap, a 118.688, and now Stinson, he is using the slipstream to get around Speed Queen 80. They're side by side into turn number 1. But who is going to win out? There is Speed Queen 80. And Stinson does win out and clears Speed Queen 80. Moves Stinson up into the 3rd position, at least for now. But now the McLaren is underneath the Speed Queen 80. Oh, and there was almost contact, but not quite. So
that was close there between Speed Queen and Russman as well. But Russman can try and put the pressure on Speed Queen now for but remember, Rymack and Stinson, they've both got the penalties. So if Speed Queen can try and keep up with these guys, then she's got a good chance of finishing in the podium, and she's done a stellar job, to be fair, Tim.
So on board with Russman, this is the battle for the podium position between Speed Queen 80 and Russman. And you know what? Even O. Steven and Ginger Tiger, these drivers are all pretty much close together. Rymack, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. That's not going to do him any favors as well. So Russman right up on the back of Speed Queen 80. Maybe a tiny little bit of contact going into that corner that time. Lap 33 of 35, about to be 34, 35. Here in just a moment, O. Steven trying to find what points he can gain out of this. He is locked in that championship battle as well. So Russman and O. Steven not just fighting for position on the racetrack, they are fighting for a better spot in the point standings. It is 2 laps to go down the front straightaway. It is a DRS train, and Speed Queen 80 is going to get swallowed by this train. There goes Russman 80 underneath of Speed Queen 80, but is he going to be able to clear? No, he will not. Speed Queen 80 fights back hard onto the outside, so she will hang on to the 4th position for now.
Oh my god. Oh, this is intense stuff. Absolutely intense. Oh my god, this is mad. Sorry, Tim. This is absolutely insane, to be fair. And looking at the penalties itself, Rymack has got 6 seconds, Stinson's got 11, oh, Steven's got 5. So the way it looks at the minute, Rymack, if he can try and keep, well, he'll drop down to a few positions depending on what everyone else is on at the minute. But the way it looks at the moment, Tim, it looks like Speed Queen and Russman could be on for the podium finishes.
That it does, but Russman, he is very close to Speed Queen, and he is trying to get past her on the racetrack just in case the 5th position does not inherit a podium. And remember, the ignoring yellow flags penalties that a lot of these drivers got, unrightly so. The stewards might have a look at that after the race. We are not stewards. We do not have that responsibility, but that could be something that you want to keep a look at. Our social medias on later on in the week, but look at Steven, he just made up 2 spots, and wow, my goodness, it was Ginger Tiger in the AvaTauri. Now it's absolute carnage into turn number 1. Sab went in there with some contact. Ginger Tiger went in there with some contact. Speed Queen 80 loses 4th place out to O. Steven. But O. Steven with time penalties, he will drop down inevitably anyway. Sir Spud in 6th place, just trying to hang on. Ginger Tiger goes wide out of that corner. Once again, stays in 7th position. Sab in 8th. Russman all the way down in 9th now.
Mad seems, to be fair, now Steven with 5 seconds. So, this is going to be close actually. Rymack could hold on. He could hold on, but it depends. He could hold on for the podium. It might be Keza, Rymack and Speed Queen. But they're coming up to the 3rd. Keza's coming up to the 3rd sector now. They're on the final bit of the race itself. This is going to be mad. This is absolutely mad. Who will try and finish off the next 2 positions? Who knows? Who knows? But here we go, Tim. I'll let you do the honours for the final bits.
He got the pole position and he dominated the race, but out of the final corner, it is going to be the AlphaTauri of Keza to win the Hungarian Grand Prix. Rymack finishes in 2nd on track. Sitton finishes 3rd on track, but after time penalties, who will get the podium? Speed Queen 80 in 2nd, Rymack in 3rd, Ginger Tiger in 4th, Sab in 5th, O. Steven in 6th, 7th is Russman, Sir Spud in 8th, Stinson all the way down to 9th due to the 11-second time penalty. Some of those might be removed. Remember, keep an eye on our social media channels following this race throughout the course of the week, and you will be able to stay updated on who and if had time penalties removed. But we will talk to our top 3 finishers of Keza, Speed Queen 80, and Rymac here in just a few moments' time. Malk, are you still in the party with us?
I can hear you, Tim. I can hear you. I've just lost connection from the lobby itself, but hopefully we'll try and get back into the commentators box for the interviews for the top 3 as well, Tim.
So here in just a moment, we will be able to talk to our top 3 drivers, those who want to talk to us anyway. But here are your official finishing results for the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League Hungarian Grand Prix, brought to you in partnership by Nailcoat Hall, GridFinder.com, GT Omega, and Driver 61. Keza in first, Speed Queen 80 in second, third is Rymac, fourth is Ginger Tiger Sab in fifth, O'Steven in sixth, Russman in seventh, eighth is Sir Spud, ninth is Stinson, Maddie in 10th, 11th is Eric Pancakes, Party Trev in 12th, 13th is Nitrogas, 14th is Turok, 15th is Reshka, Michael Lutik in 16th. That was a chaotic race, Malk.
Yeah, I'm so, like I said, I'm so sorry for the last 10 laps. All I hear was a bit of technical issues from my end, so I couldn't hear what you were saying during the commentary. So I'm so sorry if I overlapped you during that last few laps. I'm so sorry about that. But that was epic, to be fair. But yeah, I'm speechless. To be fair, there's a few words that we might have to say, but mad scenes tonight, Tim.
So we will talk to our top 3 drivers if they want to talk to us. Just waiting to see if they will come into the party and give us a little bit of a chat.
Absolutely. I'm just waiting for them to join to hear their thoughts of the race in itself. But it was a great race. Don't get me wrong, there was some great battles galore that we have seen, and be interested to see what they're going to try and do in the next. Well, hopefully they'll try and keep the consistency going. But there was some that was just like debatable moves and late breaking moves, shall we say, Tim. But we'll have to hear from everyone's thoughts. But I'm hoping to hear we get. I think Kez has just joined into the commentators box. We're just waiting for. Hopefully, Rymac will join. If he does, well, fantastic. If not, we'll have to do the interview. Keza, if you're there, please make sure you allow voice to be shared. It's set to always allow. If you're not sure how to do it, go to the party settings, and there's an option called allow voice to be shared. Make sure it's set to always allow. So while Kez is just getting himself ready and all set, ready to go, I will try and get Rymac into the party as well. So just bear with me a sec, guys. We will try and do the interviews as quickly as possible. So don't go anywhere. We are trying to get through them as quickly as we can, but it should be insane stuff as well. So we're just waiting for Rymac to join and Speed Queen to join as well. But yeah, Tim, what's your thoughts of the race tonight?
Well, it was an interesting race. I've got to say that much. I kind of expected at least one more safety car than what we got, but I'm not disappointed with what I saw. Keza was very dominant the whole race long, and a lot of great battles in the mid-pack. Not a lot of time penalties, with the exception of the issue with the yellow flags, which as I had mentioned, I suspect the stewards will have a look at. But beyond that, there weren't a lot of time penalties, so it was not like a driver's race was necessarily ruined by time penalties. Well, some of them were, but overall, great race around the Hungaro ring, and congratulations to our top 3 finishers. It looks like we've got 2 of them in here to talk to right now. Not sure if Speed Queen 80 will be able to join or not, but we do have Keza and Rymac.
Absolutely. But before we say more, Rymac, if you're there, please make sure you allow voice to be shared. It's set to always allow. If you're not sure how to do it, go to the party settings, and there's an option called allow voice to be shared. Make sure it's set to always allow. So while Rymac getting himself ready to go, we've got Keza, the winner. Unbelievable drive, actually, tonight, Tim. And I'm sure Tim would agree with that as well. Unbelievable drive. So are you guys all set, ready to go?
Yep. So.
Yep. Nice one. So, so Tim will do the questions to Keza and to Rymac for their first and third place finishes. But I'm sure Speed Queen would have been delighted to finish off in second place after that epic drive. So, Tim, over to you, mate.
So first things first, we will talk to our winner of Keza in the AlphaTauri. Not a lot to talk about, though. You dominated today, the pole position, the win. But tell me, what was going through your mind when the safety car came out? Because I would imagine that the pressure ramped up from there.
Yeah, I think the main thing was just keeping the temps in the tyres and getting a good launch, which luckily I did. And I gained about 6 or 7 tenths. So, yeah, from there on, it was just keep composure, keep the tyres in check, and then all is rest. Won the race.
What do you think it is about the AlphaTauri that is so fast around this race course? Because you obviously got the pole, but then Ginger Tiger, who was in the AlphaTauri, he was able to get the third place position in qualifying, and it just seemed like the AlphaTauri cars were really suited for this track.
Yeah, I think with these sort of tracks, it's all about setup. Like, if you get the right setup, then you nail it pretty much throughout all the corners. I think, personally, the AlphaTauri is one of the most balanced on the game. So it was quite easy to drive, either on softs or hards. So, yeah, the AlphaTauri itself is a great car, and it's just all about setup and nailing the lap, which I did the whole race pretty much, except in the last few corners and one of the last laps. Nearly binned it.
Well, congratulations, Keza, on your win here in the Hungaroring. I'm sure that you were absolutely elated. It was a fantastic drive.
Cheers, thank you.
Now we'll talk to Rymac, our third place finisher, and hopefully I'm not wrong when I say that this is your first podium since your return to the Performance League, and what a dramatic fashion that you were able to capture it in, finishing in second on track, I do believe, and then being demoted due to time penalties to third. But ultimately, I'd say that a podium for you is a podium, and you're happy.
Yeah, so. Would prefer not to have had the safety car, because I think me and Keza had a cushy little gap back to anybody behind. I think it was about 12 seconds when the safety car came out, and with a weird instant 3-second penalty I picked up on lap 1, it was going to be a challenge straight from the off on the restart. So, but no, happy with the podium.
So what has been the biggest challenge for you after returning to the Performance League after a brief absence, and are you starting to overcome that challenge and get back to the Rymac that we used to know?
It's tough, because obviously I race on Monday night in F1 against the quickest drivers in the league, so when it comes to the Thursday night, although I've not been in anything better than Alfa Romeo yet, qualifying pace has never been there, but drive clean, no mistakes tonight. I think I took advantage of most people's misfortunes, but yeah, biggest challenge definitely the cars between Alfa Romeo, Williams and Haas. It's all I've had so far.
Well, congratulations, Rymac, on your third place finish. It was a fantastic drive.
Thanks, mate.
And Malk, do you have any closing thoughts?
Just the last few moments. To be fair, well done to Keza. Unbelievable joy from him. Still a joy from the qualifying all the way to finish off as the winner. And it's good to hear Rymac back in the podium as well. It's been a very long time, and it's good to see him in the fighting spirit of the top 3 finish as well. So it's good to see him back as well. And well done to Speed Queen as well. Absolute drive with 20. I think it was over 20 odd laps. I think it was 24, 25 laps of the mediums itself. So absolutely fantastic stuff, and good drives from everyone, to be fair. And let's hope we have some more in for round 10 next week.
And with that, that is all the time that we have. But a big thank you to all the viewers that watched the stream. A big thank you to all the drivers that raced with us, and congratulations to our top 3 finishers. This has been the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League Hungarian Grand Prix, brought to you in partnership by GridFinder.com, Nailcoat Hall, Driver61, and GT Omega. Big thank you to our sponsors for jumping on board, supporting the stream and the league as a whole. And with that, until next time, goodbye, have fun.